Time is of the essence. We must assist our allies.
First time I did not see that, or perhaps I did not perceive that 2 flops in a single week. It never exactly happened. I mean, regardless whether it's video games, TV show, or movies, never before I see 2 flops in a single week. Why I say this? Because, well, we got Assassin's Creed Shadow coming tomorrow, Snow White day after tomorrow, and both of those things are not doing well. They're actually kaput. I don't know which one is worse, Assassin's Creed Shadows disrespecting Japan and Japanese culture, or Snow White is disrespecting the source material, 1937 Snow White. Also, I'd like to ask you guys a question. If any of you have ever been to a movie theaters, were the movie theaters full or half full or less? Let me know in the comments. Now, before we react to Geeks and Gamers, I want to show you this. Numerous reports indicate Snow White will open to an empty theaters as box office expectation plummet. See this? So it came from a Twitter, a Twitter user, Wallin Bullin. I hope I'm saying that right. According to him, I've never in my life seen anything like this. Snow White opening on Saturday, IMAX prime time for families in one of the busiest movie theaters in the entire DC metro area. I go to these theaters all the time. I have literally never seen anything like this. Woo! My god. Also, I did make a video on this. Wow. Trust me, never seen before. I've been to movie theaters and usually it doesn't exactly fold, or perhaps it didn't fill the whole room or something. It kind of depends. Here's from Salem Wolf, the same date at 4 p.m. IMAX, showing at the moment of this post from Regal Opry Mills, Opryland Mall in Nashville. Not sure if the X shown are taken seats or just not being sold. If they were sold, why would people went the far corners, not in the center? The far corners? Okay, alright, let's see that. I don't know if any of you can see this. I'm thinking this one here is the far corner. Here. Why did they go there? That's weird. Okay, let's see this one. At 6:30 p.m. showing on Saturday, March 22nd is Disney Springs is also reportedly going to be mostly empty according to Crusty. Whoa, there are only 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, only 8? How many this? Let's see, hang on. Let me count. 4. Let's see, this is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 28. 31 here. It's like what, 100 something? I really need to recount this. I'm probably gonna put that on the screen just in case if I miscount or anything. 8? That's weird. Oh, here's another one. At AMC Burbank, which we already did that on our previous video. Essentially home field and must started. Only a few. They didn't go close to the screen. Here's another one. Not good. Saturday night, 7:30 p.m. 0 tickets sold. Well, that could change though, because don't forget, you still need to have dinner. Some of you who watch or perhaps go to the theaters, well, you have to eat dinner first before you watch the theaters, but then again, or perhaps you will eat just popcorn. I don't know, because I usually have to eat first and then go to the theaters. That's how I work. Take a look at this. My god, empty. Let's see what Geeks and Gamers has to say.
Assassin's Creed Shadows has had a lot of controversy in the lead up to its release. Multiple delays, a lot of backlash, including for the first trailer that got released, whether it's about the location and the attention to detail that was paid to Japan. A lot of backlash from Japanese people over that. The inclusion of Yasuke instead of a Japanese male protagonist. A lot of backlash for that as well. And now even the devs are admitting what we've been talking about for the past several months. The future of Ubisoft is relying on this release. Ubisoft dev confirms high stakes for Assassin's Creed Shadows. If the game performs moderately, we're really in trouble. Basically saying it needs to be a huge smash hit. Well, Ubisoft is getting ahead of some of the perceived hate that they might be getting for this game when it releases. And in fact, they're set out to take legal action against you if you go out there and harass any of their developers. What does harassment exactly mean? We don't know. Hasn't been defined very clearly by them. But you better behave because we'll come after you. Ubisoft reportedly has an anti-harassment plan in place for Assassin's Creed Shadows developers. Employees are advised not to post on social media. A team will be monitoring for targeted attacks. And lawyers are ready to file complaints in the event of proven harassment. Now, I don't think like going after somebody and like maybe going after their family or whatever. I don't think that needs to happen for a game like this. However, how are they going to define harassment? Is it just saying, wow, your game sucks. Can't believe you worked on this pile of shit. These are the things that people wonder if will be included in this anti-harassment policy. People who basically are just being publicly critical of the game. And there's almost no doubt in my mind that the reason this is out here now is because they want to attempt to dissuade people from being overly critical of the game publicly. That's what this is.
Like that ever gonna work? Take a look with Naughty Dog. Guess what happened to that? Many people got false copyright strike, and it made people despise Naughty Dog and Neil Druckmann himself. And now he is doing this just to disrespect religion, which is again a no-no. And again, like I said, don't say it's a game. Now, let's go to Ryan Kinnell.
Certainly seen Disney pull out all the stops over the past few days to desperately try to course correct when it comes to Rachel Zegler's Snow White, a movie that's been fraught with controversy for 2 years, whether it's based off leaked set images, whether it's Rachel Zegler herself and her comments about the original, or just her other comments on social media, her political comments, her bashing of fans, and even going so far as to say, if you voted for Donald Trump, I don't want you showing up to the movie theater. But of course, at the toned down red carpet event in Hollywood last weekend, where they did the premiere, but didn't allow anyone to actually talk to Rachel Zegler and ask her any questions because they were so frightened of her putting her foot in her mouth once again, you had to wonder, is this going to improve the measly box office projections that this movie currently sits at? And right now, quite frankly, it doesn't look like it's done anything to help out. You have all the people with the access going out there and talking about how amazing the movie is, how amazing she was. The actual review embargo has not lifted yet. That won't happen till the last minute before the movie officially releases. But when you go around and you look at what people are seeing in their own local theaters all across the United States and Canada in some instances, it doesn't look like the interest is there. I'm going to scroll through, and let's just be honest, these are all anecdotal. These are people that are looking at their local theaters and, wow, I can't believe there's no one here.
Now, I've already shown you that, but I think I'm going to skip a bit. I think we'll skip a bit. Or perhaps, you know what? Why don't we listen to what they say? But first things first, I need to know, if any of you have been to your local theaters, was the local theaters that you went through or you go through was full, half full, or not even full, or less? It's gonna give you as an example, but I believe I already shown you. I think we'll skip a bit.
I mean, everywhere you look right now, despite all the efforts they're putting into it, it doesn't look great. Now, I will say this. I think there's going to be far more kind of walk-up ticket sales for a movie like this, a family movie where people, people that probably haven't been paying a lot of attention to stuff. I think you'll have far more of those generic walk-up ticket sales. And despite the projections still sitting at around $55 million opening weekend, I tend to think it'll be a little bit higher than some of those projections, maybe in between the 60, 70 million range. But we're still talking about something, even if it ends up there, over those projections. We're talking about something that's opening to about 2/3 of what Little Mermaid opened to 2 years ago. And if you remember, that was a financial disaster for Disney and a movie that was probably cheaper for them to make. So Disney's doing everything they can to combat the negative perception of Rachel Zegler. But as of right now, with all of these empty movie theaters all across the country, it is not looking good for Disney's bastardized Snow White remake.
Think about that for a second. Empty seats. Nobody goes. I mean, yes, for weekdays, I understand. Nobody goes to the theaters on the weekday. It's on the weekends. Who goes to the theaters with nobody in it? Take a look at that. 2 flops in a single week. It's never been done. My God, I'm mind-boggling. It's baffling to me because never before I see 2 things flopped in a single week. And don't say Assassin's Creed Shadow is doing great, okay? Japanese people or the entire Japan country is hating it. They don't like it. People like Ubisoft is disrespecting their culture. Seriously, Ubisoft, what are you doing? I mean, imagine if they do it to my country's culture. You want to know what happened? My country will not accept that. They will make it their mission to go after Ubisoft. For Rachel Zegler, well, her downfall, or perhaps in this case, what she said with the 1937 Snow White and disrespecting it, that is enough for people to dislike the movie. Regardless what the shills say, Snow White is in fact going to flop. 1 million people is not a joke. That's a lot of people who doesn't like Rachel Zegler. Same goes for Assassin's Creed Shadows. All of Japan despise Assassin's Creed Shadows. Well, many of these people, either Ubisoft or Disney, learned that lesson. Regardless whether these things sells well, it will not help them. It will let the company sink lower and lower. Who's gonna tell them that their ship is sinking?
So the enemy has proposed that you defect. What will you do?
Well, the enemy has proposed that you defect. What will you do? Well, the enemy has proposed that you defect. What will you do? Well, the enemy has proposed that you defect. What will you do? Well, the enemy has proposed that you defect. What will you do? Well, the enemy has proposed that you defect. What will you do? Well, the enemy has proposed that you defect. What will you do? Well, the enemy has proposed that you defect. What will you do? Well, the enemy has proposed that you defect. What will you do? Well, the enemy has proposed that you defect. What will you do? Well, the enemy has proposed that you defect. What will you do? Well, the enemy has proposed that you defect. What will you do? Well, the enemy has proposed that you defect. What will you do? Well, the enemy has proposed that you defect. What will you do? Well, the enemy has proposed that you defect. What will you do? Well, the enemy has proposed that you defect. What will you do? Well, the enemy has proposed that you defect. What will you do? Well, the enemy has proposed that you def
In that case, perhaps we should use their desire to recruit you against them by planting you within their army. Gain their trust, and before long, we will give the signal for you to destroy their ranks and resolve from within.
So leave a like and subscribe if you want gaming news, theories, comparison, or you just want to see me play games, or even you like trending topics. You can visit either my first, third, or fourth channel up here and link in the description.